Good day everyone. Today we're going to discuss the crypto outlook for 2021. And I'm not going to say what the top altcoins are, the top projects are. I'm going to make a video regarding that topic in the next week. But today we're just going to have a small review on what has happened in 2020 and what's most likely going to happen for 2021. In that perspective, I would like to say to you, don't forget to subscribe to the channels to stay notified on every new upload that we make. And from there, I'm going to discuss the overall markets that we see here. On the screen, you can see the total market cap of crypto, which came back to the all-time high regions, which is actually primarily because of Bitcoin. Bitcoin has seen a massive 2020 as it reached towards a new all-time high. It broke the all-time high of 2017 and actually reached a high price higher than that with 20%. However, if you compare the levels of Bitcoin towards the levels of Ether, for instance, Ether is still down 60% from its all-time high. Other altcoins are even down 80 to 90%, and we have to say that the majority of those altcoins will most likely just vanish away. But getting to the point is that Bitcoin has seen its momentum, therefore I think the overall likelihood that altcoins will start to shine is heavily increasing. The moment that Bitcoin starts to consolidate, those will start to take its position and stay in the spotlight of Bitcoin, through which those will probably start to run up in some periods of 2021, especially Ether has to take that place in which it can start rallying relatively fast. So I'll just go through the charts of my expectations. We've just witnessed a very large move of Bitcoin of more than 100% from September from 10k to 24k, and right now we can see that the total market cap is as well around the all-time high region. This all-time high region is the last hurdle before we start to accelerate into price discovery. If you want to use price discovery metrics, you have to use Fibonacci extension tool to define what the actual resistances are. Levels to watch for total market cap is the area around 550 billion. If we lose that zone, the next area is around 460 billion. These two ranges are the levels that I'm definitely watching to see whether we're going to have a support there. If any of those hold, I think we're most likely continuing with this upwards grind towards new all-time highs of the total market cap. Total market cap is around all-time high, while the total altcoin market cap is not around the all-time high. As you can see that we are still down 60% from its all-time high in 2017. Bitcoin runs first, then Bitcoin corrects, and then Bitcoin stabilizes and grinds upwards and that's the period when altcoins start to run heavily. My outlook for 2021 for altcoins is that we're going to hold this level for support, which means that once Bitcoin makes its correction toward 18.5k, as the critical level for Bitcoin in itself is this region around 19k. I generally want to see that hold for support. If that holds for support and starts a consolidation, that's the moment where altcoins start to rally heavily. Losing 19k, we are most likely targeting 16 and 14 again, but this is the only level that you have to watch for the current period. If Bitcoin starts to make a correction, drop below 22.6, that is the zone to watch, which automatically means that altcoins, given this chart, have to bounce up in the BTC pair to drop less. If we're going to see that in a correction, most likely altcoins will start to shine when Bitcoin finishes its correction, which I am going to expect in the first quarter of 2021 to see occur. Which ones are first going to run? Primarily the altcoins that are majors are going to run first, as the money goes from Bitcoin towards majors, towards mid caps, towards small caps. So the first quarter most likely is going to be a period where the majors are going to do relatively fine, and then during the summer a classic altcoin cycle will start to occur in which the small caps start to run. What is the level to watch for the altcoin market cap? This is the 155 billion. We've rejected at 240 and now we are range bound construction, similar to the construction that we have previously. If we're going to hold this gray range, I think we're going to accelerate and have a renewed rally upwards. Based on Fibonacci extension, the next run, most likely in the first quarter, and then the second one in the Q3, are going to be towards 320 billion and 440 billion. Which also means that I'm going to look at Ether at a point that I have to erase some minimal levels here. That we're going to look at Ether towards a new all-time high in 2021. That is what I'm expecting to see occur, especially as long as Ether is going to hold above this range of 450 bucks. Heavily depending on Bitcoin, obviously, how far we're going to drop. If this is going to be a slight drop here on ETH, a new higher low is going to be the trigger for continuation to occur on this one, in which we're going to see that run towards 1200, 1300 bucks, which also means that we're going to see many more altcoins running towards new all-time highs, in which they are following AV, for instance, following Elrond, for instance, in which the real fundamental strong projects will start to shine. And based from that perspective, I'm watching ETH, what that is going to do. If we get a drop and get that opportunity, I think that's going to be a heavy trigger for 2021, in which Ether most likely is going to double in price perspective during the year, in which altcoins, smaller ones, have a larger run than Ether, as they are smaller, which means more risk and therefore also more rewards. Bitcoin dominance, currently eager to run further up. December has generally been the period that we're going to see a top on that. So based on historical perspective and the way Ether is going to react and currently reacting, I'm assuming we're going to top out in December as well, through which during the months of January towards February we're going to see those majors start to rally significantly, and then during the summer the smaller caps start to follow along, with a Bitcoin running towards 40 to 60k at the end of the year in the next impulse wave. I'm not going to target Bitcoin running towards 100 to 200k in the next years. It's just a speculation, but Bitcoin doubling in price would not be a bad outcome from here. And I think the best outcome will be to just see a grinding Bitcoin rather than an accelerated Bitcoin, as that would be destructive for the economy. So that's my outlook for 2021. During the coming week, I'm going to make a video of the top altcoins that I'm going to watch, and therefore subscribe to this channel. And I'll see you again tomorrow.